You look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. Thank you. In this video, I'm going to be reading through some of your comments on my videos. I wanted to go outside and do a load of filming today with one of the Falcons, but I live in England, which means anytime I want to go and film, it goes very grey and starts raining. So I'm stuck inside today, and I thought we would go through some of this because I don't always have a lot of time to reply to your comments. So, let's have a look. I read on the internet that Lanner Falcons are the best bird for rookie falconers. Do you have any facts about them? Oh boy, do I have facts about the Lanner Falcon. So the Lanner Falcon is an African species of falcon. You get different subspecies spread throughout Africa, but they do cover most of Africa, so sub-Saharan Africa. Their scientific name is Falcobiamicus, translating into sickle-shaped, long, thin, pointed wings, in the shape of a drawn bow whilst they're in the air. Biamicus referencing their terminal tooth, bi meaning two, amicus coming from the word armory, roughly translates into a double-edged blade, with sharp pointed tooth on each side of their beak. The Heriofalco complex, the Lanner Falcon, the Seca Falcon, the Lugger Falcon, and the Ger Falcon. Geographical speciation. They went through different environmental pressures. Do I need to go on anymore? Awesome video. I'm now interested in something I never thought I would be interested in. How often do you need to keep up with training, and how often does the bird need to be taken out? I imagine quite often, yeah? Do you have experience with owls, pros and cons with them? So it's good that you found a new interest. It's nice to know that my videos have helped with that. How often do I keep on top of training? Well, I try to do it every single day. So my birds are very active. As I'm running a business, I need the birds to be ready whenever somebody books in or whenever something's going on. So if you ignore your bird for a while, then you're going to have to then get back on top of training. You can't just have a bird sat doing nothing and then suddenly ask it to do everything all in one go. So you kind of need to keep on top of it. So I try to fly my birds every single day. And yes, I do have experience with owls, pros and cons with them. It depends what you're asking for. So pros and cons with hunting. I guess it's a very different style of hunting. Not really going to be doing a lot of chasing of prey, it's more of sneaking up on them. So it's a nice new interesting way of hunting, but then the difficulty is once they have got hold of that prey is how you get their feet off, because owls have got very strong feet. Pros and cons with just flying them as part of my business. The pros is that everybody loves the owls, and because I raise them myself, I've got a really nice, wonderful relationship with them. Cons, compared to some of the other birds, their flying can be sometimes a little bit boring, especially Sway. His natural flying style is just to fly in a straight little line, so although it's wonderful for the public, it can get a bit repetitive for me doing it every single day. But I love him, so we put up with it. Never been on your channel before, but I have experience with saltwater, aquaria and parrots. If you think there is a beginner anything, then shove off. You are not worthy. Okay. Interesting. I hope that's in agreement with me, not against me, because I do say in the video, I'm pretty sure I say in the video that there's no such thing as a beginner or anything, so hopefully you're agreeing with me there. Owls are not pets. No, they're not. Can you do a video on Bengal eagle owl and the training? I can't really because I don't have a Bengal eagle owl, but the training is near enough the same as what I did with Sway, so go watch my video about raising an owl from 5 days old. So like, do you keep the bird hungry till training, and what's the amount of food you feed it? No, you don't keep the bird hungry until training. We manage the weight of the bird, and then we sort of choose how much food it's going to have based on how active it's been, the temperature, the size and weight of the bird. So we don't keep them hungry, but you can't fly a fat bird. A fat bird doesn't want to do anything other than go and hide and sit in a tree. So if we kept them hungry all the time, then they'd probably be quite annoyed at us, and eventually they would lose condition and then not be very healthy. So no, we don't keep them hungry all of the time. We manage their weight and we control their diets. First year, you either make or break the raptor. I disagree with that. One of my Harris hawks, I was given her at 7 years old and she had never been flown or trained before then. And I got her flying free. And she's since gone on to do displays with me at big country events. She does hawk hikes, so I take her out and we'll go for hours walks around while she's flying up in the air. And yeah, so she was 7 years old when I started all of that, so I don't believe the first year you either make or break the hawk. I think it all depends on the training that you are willing to put into that specific bird. Why are you clipping the beak? Doesn't the weather puncture their eyes? What? Doesn't the weather puncture their eyes? I have no idea what that means. But why am I clipping the beak? Because their beaks are made of the outer layer is made of the same thing as our fingernails, keratin, and in captivity they tend to grow a bit faster than their wild counterparts, just because they're in a bit of a different environment and eating different foods to their wild counterparts. So on occasion we just have to trim that beak down just to make sure it's in order and it's not going to start cracking and getting infections. So it's basically bodybuilding. So it's basically a bodybuilding course for raptors. I wonder what other raptors think when they see your bird flying. Hot damn, this dude is jacked. I bet roids. Possibly. I think if any wild raptors see my birds, they probably think what a bunch of lazy bums they are. They do a tiny little bit of flying around a field and they get all their food. Wild raptors have to fly all over the place to get their food. So wild raptors are usually far fitter than a captive raptor. Where can I get the tall perch that you have? There are places to buy them. There's a few businesses if you look online, but you can't get the ones that I have because we made them ourselves here. They're stupidly expensive to buy, like 100 quid for one. So we just bought the materials and built them ourselves, and I managed to build 4 of them for like 80 quid worth of materials. So just have a look online, but they are very expensive. Better to make your own. Hi, I've been interested in falconry for years. I'm wanting to get into it with a Harris hawk. How long would it take to learn the basic things I need to know about falconry training? It's different for everybody. Everybody learns at a different pace, and it depends how you are doing that learning and sort of who you're surrounding yourself with. Some people will pick up things very quickly. Some people will need a lot of repetitive practice before they start to pick up things. So it's different for every single person, but read some books, find somewhere to volunteer or a local club, and you should be well on your way. I'm having trouble with getting my hawk to step onto the glove. Any tips? I have been trying for 2 weeks. That's an interesting one. Maybe you don't fully know what you are doing then. Obviously it can take time and every bird is different with how long it will take them to go through different stages of training. But maybe you need to go backwards a little bit in the training and get them used to just standing on the glove and feeding off the glove before you try getting them to step to the glove. So see if there's a local falconer near you that can give you a hand, I would say. Where do you get a hawk to tame? Do I have to catch one? No, don't do that. Don't go and catch one. Leave the wild birds to be wild. Owning a bird of that type and raising it from being a baby is probably like owning a Pokemon. Kind of. Only we can't shove them into little tiny balls and just release them whenever we want. That'd be fun though, that'd be nice. It'd make my life much easier going to shows. If instead of having a big van with boxes, I could just stick them all in tiny little Pokeballs and then enter the arena and just whoosh, off you go. I've seen some people put marshmallows on top of their dog-proof traps or golf balls. Do you put anything on top or just bait inside? Well, I don't use traps because I'm here in England and it's illegal to trap a wild bird. So to be honest, I can't really tell you anything about that because I would be breaking the law if I started doing things like that here. So yeah, here in the UK it's all captive bred birds. You guys use buzzards in falconry in UK for what? To clean up the dead bodies? Oh god, what a can of worms. Yes, we use buzzards in falconry here in the UK, and I don't know where this person is from, but I'm assuming from the question they're in America, which means in America you also use buzzards for falconry. Harris hawks, ferruginous hawks, red-tailed hawks. Sorry to break the news to you, but those three species are all also buzzards. And they are very commonly used buzzards, especially red-tailed hawks over in America. So no, we don't use them just to clean up dead bodies. They are perfectly able hunting birds of prey. Not sure I agree with the alliance between fox hunting and falconry. So this is talking about the video where I went to visit Dave Sharp and we sat and discussed things, and when that video went up, lots of people had lots of things to say to me about all of that, and I think everybody misunderstood me. I don't want there to be an alliance between falconers and fox hunting because, again, I may annoy some people on here, but I don't like fox hunting. I think it's not good sport. It's not needed or necessary, and I just don't like the whole idea of a pack of dogs going and tearing a fox to bits. It's very different to having something like, say, a golden eagle go and take down a fox that then the falconer immediately dispatches. Yeah, being chased around and then torn to bits by a pack of dogs is not fair or nice, or I think very cruel. But what I was trying to explain is, I think all of the public who don't like any form of hunting at all, currently all of their attention is on the fox hunters, and so if that were to all disappear, I feel like all of their attention would then shift to falconry. So I would like fox hunters to behave themselves so that they can distract the public over there doing their horrible things, and us falconers can stay over here, out of the public eye, doing our much more natural, less cruel kind of things, if that makes sense. So no, I don't want this alliance, but I just think that the fox hunt is kind of the barrier before all the public turns their attention to falconry. In advice for new falconers, you forgot coffee. And I just poured half that over my laptop, lovely. Do you actually practice falconry, or do you just fly your birds for fun and at shows? Fuck you. I do need to justify my existence to you. That's a female talking about Igor the kestrel, who's very obviously a male. Kestrels exhibit something called sexual dimorphism, which is something that most birds exhibit because there's a size difference between males and females, but kestrels have a different plumage between male and female. Females tends to be just all sort of brownish, whereas the males have got this lovely sort of rusty colour on their back with the blue head and the blue tail. So kestrels, Eurasian kestrels, are probably one of the easiest birds to tell whether it is a male or a female. So that's a female. No, unfortunately, you are incorrect. He's definitely a male. There is enough sun in the UK to dry items out. Talking about when I made my own lure. No, it's not. It took weeks. I don't think it was shown in the video, but oh my god, it took ages to get that hide to dry out, and I had to rub a lot of salt on it to pull all the moisture out of it, and then I had to keep scraping all that soaking wet salt off and putting more salt on it, and then leaving it out hung up in the wind, and oh my god, it took ages to get that thing to dry out here in the UK. What? Is this a joke, or have you just completely misunderstood me? Somebody says, okay, I choose the goshawk. Sorry, I mean buzzard. No, a goshawk is a true hawk and a sipiter. A Harris hawk is a buzzard, a buteo. Well, parabuteo, but not all things that are labelled hawks are actually buzzards. There are hawks that are true hawks, like a goshawk and a sparrowhawk. They're part of the accipiter family, whereas Harris hawks, Ferruginous hawks, whereas Harris hawks, Ferruginous hawks, red-tailed hawks are all technically buzzards. Ferruginous and red-tails are full buteo. Harris hawks parabuteo. So goshawk, sorry I mean buzzard. No, goshawk is a hawk. A buzzard is a buzzard. Why does he keep saying hog? Hawk has a K at the end, not a G. Hawk. Hog. Hog, hawk. Hawk. I don't know. What? I'm not saying hog. Hawk. I don't know. Leave my Yorkshire accent alone. Just curious, can Harris hawks be trained alongside gun dogs to work in kill and retrieve when not shooting? Yeah, Harris hawks can be trained to work alongside dogs, but you're never going to get a Harris hawk that will retrieve anything for you. They don't really work like that in their mind. They're not going to go and kill something and bring it back to you. Once they've killed it, they're going to stand on it and eat it, and they're going to be not best pleased when you try to take it off. That's why we have to sort of make in and trade off and offer them something else as a different option, a different choice for them. But no, you'll never get a hawk retrieve something and bring it back to you. I mean, I've seen videos of little small American kestrels that fly and catch an insect and then come back to the glove, but I think that's purely just because they're not going to feed off the wing, so they want to go back to the glove because they know that's a nice safe perch where they can eat their food, but they're not really retrieving it for the falconer. Do you sell birds? No. Can he fly away and never come back to you? If so, why he hasn't? Talking about the video where I showed the raising and training of Sway, yes, he absolutely has the ability to fly away and never come back. The reason he doesn't is because he's got a nice safe place to live here. He gets all of his food. He doesn't have to work very hard compared to wild birds. He doesn't have to deal with all of the pressures of being a wild bird. But he probably doesn't know any of that. He just knows that this is where all of his food is, and because I raised him, he thinks I'm his mum, so he wants to stay nice and close to his parents, me being me. So yeah, he can fly off and disappear, but he chooses not to. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for this video. Scrolling through all of these comments that I've not responded to, a lot of them don't require a response. They're just showing their appreciation, so thank you to everybody for that. I also wanted to say thank you to all of the comments about Kit the Barn Owl. I know I haven't responded to any of those, but I did read every single one on that video and I really do appreciate it, so thank you very much for your support. If you'd like to see me going through some more comments, then please do let me know as a comment in this video, and then if I'm going to do it again, I'll probably go through and actually, before I film the video, actually pick out some comments that I can then give more detailed responses to. But for now, thank you very much for watching.